Well. Good morning, West Ham fans. It's Tim Steidten, keeping it in the family. Yes, everybody, Rush on the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe. Well, happy Monday. Just make a band out of that name. It's a good idea. If you're new around here, you know what to do. Now, back, hopefully you got over VAR, gate and all that type of stuff. I think Anton's just got over it, in all honesty. But anyway, back, I think it was Friday. On Friday, we spoke very, it's Friday afternoon, we spoke quickly about Tim Steidten, and in terms of him shaping his backroom staff, and it seems almost like from the ground up, sort of like it's him over the top, and then there's Moyes in the middle. It's like a sandwich. He's been squashed, and then Moyes will have to pop or be part of the filling. I spoke about it called the Steidten Revolution, Shea Steidten, so to speak, not Che Guevara. And we spoke about him, but he will be bringing in a highly rated scout from the Bundesliga from Werder Bremen in Maximilian Hahn. He's believed to be starting early February, and he's coming in. His title is going to be Head of Talent Scouting and Analysis. Sorry, Technical Scouting and Analysis. Now, obviously, he's joined from Werder Bremen. Obviously, he didn't work with Tim during his time. When Tim was at Werder Bremen, it was a couple of years in between Tim leaving and him joining. But I think we've realised why he's picked him. And not just why he's picked him, but he's the main reason being his brother, Moyes Steidten, who's going to be another scout for us, apparently. We're keeping it in the family. Not only are we going to get Maximilian coming over as well, but he also looks like we're going to be bringing in his younger brother, Moyes, to the scouting team as well. Moyes is a former player and younger brother of Tim. He's currently scouting at Werder Bremen and has done for a while now. His playing career, not particularly stellar. It was all in Germany, and he spent some time in the States for a short amount of time, but most of his time was at lower league sides in Germany. But he's going to be joining us apparently as another scout. We're keeping it in the family. The Steidten Revolution continues. He's almost been there for over 9 years. He was appointed in the 15-16 season as Werder Bremen scouts, and as I said, he's 35, and the younger Steidten. So, not only is he going to he's got his brother there to back him up, but he's got Maximilian as well. It does seem there is a groundswell of movement in terms of that backroom staff, and Steidten's getting the men in and getting his pieces. Obviously, Anton spoke about it on Saturday. Was it Saturday or was it Sunday? I can't remember. I'm talking about West Ham United, in that Steidten was currently in he was in Asia following some of the Asian Cup, doing on obviously scouting for a number of players, a couple of right backs. We'll talk about it in a bit more detail in the lunchtime show. We'll do a Russie Rumour roundup, talk about them. While Rob Newman is almost like coordinated. It's almost like they've got a plan. He is currently scouting at the AFCONs as well. Hopefully tonight is the last game at the group stages for Ghana. So we'll find out tonight whether we're likely to get Kudus back before the weekend or not. If Ghana get defeated by Mozambique, they will not qualify because they'll be actually bottom of the group. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll go into a little bit more detail on lunchtime as well. But it's interesting, so it's not just one, it's another guy coming in. It's his brother as well. Harks back. Obviously Moyes employed his son, didn't he? And yeah, that was a bit weird. And now Steidten's bringing his brother in. More handsome looking brother as well. So, the pressure, it seems to be like a vice. The pressure sort of Moyes is in the middle, and you've got Steidten's pressure coming from above. He's got, he's the right hand. He's Mr. Football now at West Ham. Sullivan obviously is really happy with what he's doing. Obviously, you're seeing Noble sort of working within the academy, really, in terms of that sort of area of his side, tying down the likes of, Ezra and Patrick Kelly, and hopefully Callum, and hopefully Mbama as well, to sort of long-term or longer-term pro deals as well. It does seem there's sort of a groundswell of, impact coming from above, coming from below rather. There's some coming from above, and it does seem the buck stops with Moyes. As I said, I obviously, if he is offered a new deal, which is potentially on the table, it will not be as a manager. I cannot see that happening. It will be as, in my opinion, a first team coach. And there will be a number of safeguards in place. I hate the word KPIs, but sort of like key performance indicators in terms of, adopting a more continental style of management. And indeed, we've seen it. I mean, Bristol City, for Liam Manning, if anyone was listening to the commentary of the Bristol City game in terms of the return leg at Ashton Gate, they were saying how they've got a setup in place, and basically any manager that comes in has to, or so any coach who comes in, first team coach, has to keep that sort of the way they play, the style of football, the types of recruitment coming through bringing through the academy. Brighton's the same way. So as and when a manager leaves or a player leaves, they can fit someone into the system, the right piece of the puzzle. All the puzzles laid out. It does seem that's the case. Anyone who watches the academy, obviously we've got the academy playing. Under 21s are playing on Friday at Rush Green. Check it out. Play Stoke City. 7 o'clock kickoff. They play a 3-4-3, as the under 18s play a 3-4-3. Every other side, it seems, plays a 3-4-3, apart from the first team, where it's very much a 4-1-4-1 or 4-2-3-1 yesterday, maybe at times of 4. Yeah, it was. Yeah, maybe almost at times of 4-4-2, to be fair. So it does seem, that Moyes is going to change, and and people saying, oh, maybe he's done. He has, he's adapted a lot of his game as well. So in terms of, he has changed in terms of bringing new. I mean, the putting Ben Johnson in midfield yesterday was reasonably inspirational. I thought he did a really good job there. Maybe luck more than judgment potentially, but I thought he played really well there. Danny Ings played probably one of his best games. Not played as a striker, he played as almost like a cam, almost played as a 10. So maybe he's got a few tricks up his sleeve, but he's gonna have to toe the line if he signs a new contract. And with people like Moritz, yeah, I think that's fair. And with people like Moritz coming on board as well, there's more Steidten men now, and less Moyes men. You got to think, if you're looking through the side, obviously Alan Irvine was a big Moyes fan, but he's now a consultant, exterior consultant. He's no longer in the dugout. Obviously, you've got Billy McKinley. You've got a lot of backroom staff already. And the fact that they split, half dugout, half are in the press box at home games. So, likes of Robson and people like that are in the press box, sort of, feeding back to, Nolan and Billy McKinley on the touchline. So, yeah, it does seem that there's it's very much going to be this way or this way come the summer, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, just thought I'd bring you a little bit of interesting information. Tim is keeping it in the family. As I said, we'll do the Rusty Rumour rating at lunchtime. There's a ton of new rumours and updates over the last sort of 72 hours. Strikers, fullbacks, left backs, right backs, midfield players. Lots of them, and there's going to be even more, because obviously now we don't play until, as it says on the ticker thing, we don't play until the 1st of February, which is obviously when the transfer window closes. So we've in essence got 10 days now until our next game. So there's no game, so it is about concentrating on getting some of this squad, these new players in. But then by the time we play Bournemouth, we could have a situation where obviously Bowen's back now. We could have Kudus back. We could potentially have Paqueta back, maybe. We might have Antonio back. Who knows? Morocco could have been knocked out by then as well. So I think the squad will look very different by the time we come around to Bournemouth. And then maybe, Calvin Phillips potentially or whatever. So We'll see. Anyway, hope you have a great rest of the day. I'll be back at lunchtime. Make sure you check it out. And as I said, don't forget to give it a like if you enjoy what we're doing. Subscribe if you're new. And take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay inside. God, this storm is like, whoa, it's so much wind. And come on, you bloody irons. Much love. Bye bye.